Hey, how's it going everyone? I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. This video we are going to go over a quick and easy Firebase Z Easter egg guide. I have worked out a couple of techniques that will allow you to finish this Easter egg before round 15 almost every single time. If this video helps you out at all, then help me out by hitting that like button, but let's go ahead and cut this plug and get right into it. I emphasize the before round 15 part because if you are unaware, you actually need the Ray K rifle in order to complete this Easter egg. And if you were to craft said Ray K rifle, it would require you to advance to at least round 15 in order to get a mangler to spawn for the final piece of that Ray K rifle. But using this method that I show you here today, we can essentially skip all of that, and once we finally get ourselves the Ray K rifle, then the rest of the Easter egg really just falls into place. This method requires a little bit of setup though, so let me explain step by step what you are going to need to do starting from right when you spawn in. So you can actually get to this teleporter without opening the door, which saves you some much needed money. What you are going to want to do is repair 5 walls just for that extra bit of money on the first map, and then you need to run up alongside this wall here and jump for this ledge. It might take a few tries to get it done, but you can for sure jump up on this ledge, at least at the time that I made this video. If they end up patching this out, I will update this with a pinned comment below, so be sure to check and see if there's any sort of pinned comment update. But after you get on the ledge, you can just parkour your way up to the teleporter. From here on out, we are actually only focused on getting the Ray K rifle. And in order to do that, we are going to be farming legendary rewards from the challenge machine. Unfortunately, on this run, our round 1 challenge was to kill zombies with hipfire, which at round 1 would just be a waste of a round, because there's only like 5 zombies. I did have to knock off like 4 of those zombies to get back up to 500 points in order to buy the next challenge, which we then got kill zombies in the helipad location, which at round 2 I figured was good enough because there are only like 2 or 3 challenges at this point that do not involve killing zombies. Though I will cover a little trick later that makes this process much easier, but I will get to that in a minute. This challenge here took us up to a rare reward as well as round 4, and our next challenge was kill zombies within close range. I did this challenge all the way through round 4 and into the last 2 zombies of round 5. So now that we are a few rounds in and you should have a decent stack of cash, the way that we are going to get these challenges to start giving you challenges that don't require killing zombies is by opening up 2 or 3 of the gates that are around the main challenge area. After you open those locations up, you are much more likely to get a challenge that requires you to stay in a specific place for as long as you can, which will allow us to farm this challenge machine without advancing rounds. You should be able to claim your first legendary reward on or before round 5, and from my experience, it takes about 3 legendary rewards to finally get the Ray K. We got our Ray K rifle at round 9 of this game, which is incredible because in order to craft this thing yourself, you will need to get all the way to above round 15 so the manglers will start to spawn in. But now that we have this Ray K rifle, I'm going to run you through the rest of the Easter eggs step by step. First, you need to turn on the power by activating each of these tube things and killing zombies to charge the tube thing. And only kill the amount of zombies required to charge the specific tube thing. This will help you stay at a low round. There are 3 of these tube things around the map, and you will need zombies to charge each of them. After that, teleport back to the Pack-a-Punch area and interact with the guy there. You can immediately turn around and head straight back to Dr. Peck. Talk to Dr. Peck in the mission control area, and you don't have to wait for him to finish his conversation before you can start running back to the Pack-a-Punch guy, where you will have to wait for Dr. Peck's speech to end before you can talk to the Pack-a-Punch guy, and then he will go through a speech and give you a key card. Take this key card and run into the room across the street and open the cabinet and take the serum. Then teleport back to the other place and head over toward Dr. Peck down in this area. Open up the cabinet and get the second serum. Then you're going to go to the room above Juggernaut, open this last cabinet and take the serum. Take all of these serums over to the med bay area and insert them into this little spinny thing here, and you can run around and wait for the dogs to die, or you can kill them. Either way, after the dogs are gone, go back to the spinny thing, grab the serum, and also grab the ventilator machine that is right next to the spinny thing. Take all of that over to this air duct here and place it down, then go and stand by Dr. Peck. He will start a chat sequence that you have to wait through, but the zombies should leave you alone if you just want to stand here and listen to him. But after Peck talks about the necklace that whoever he was dancing with has, you can talk to him, then head towards the data center room and wait for Peck to stop talking. After he mentions the data center room, head over to this computer here and you will be able to unlock it and grab a trap from it. You need these traps to catch specific mimics around the map. These are in the Pack-a-Punch location, near the Colonel's office, and by the barracks. You can only catch one mimic per round, but the way you find them is by checking each of these locations that I just mentioned for random loots to be spawned on the ground. You can't grab these loots because they're technically mimics, but a mimic will spawn out of these, and the best way that I have found to make sure that you are catching the right mimic is to watch for the mimic that spawns next to another mimic looking ground loot. There have been a few instances where multiple mimics have spawned and I ended up capturing the wrong one, at which point you will have to end the round and try again on the next one. Also, the lower the health of the mimic, the better the capture rate is, and after you catch it, you will need to pick up the device and run back to the machine in the data center. Insert that memory and grab another trap. You can run to the next mimic spot during the memory playing, or you can listen to it, but you will receive a bit of audio confirming whether or not that was the correct memory.
That's one of the activation codes. Just need to find the other one.
Just repeat this process for the mimics that are near the Pack-a-Punch, near the barracks, and near the Colonel's office. And once you get all 3 correct memories, you will get a floppy disk out of the data center machine. Take that floppy disk over to the planning center and insert it into this computer here. Run around for a second or two and then run up into the dome thing to trigger the portal spawning. After it spawns, you can just jump down and from there go talk to Dr. Peck. While Peck talks, run outside behind you and grab the shovel from this hut here, and wait for the conversation to end. After you get the code to the locker, open up the locker next to Peck and grab the Ethereum detector thing. You will then need to run to just outside of the planning center in this corner here and hold square to interact with this device. A couple seconds later, like 20 of these things will then pop up in the surrounding area, and you need to run around checking each one and only picking up the one that doesn't have this dark mist in it. You are looking for the one that only has this white mist inside of it, and if you happen to grab the wrong one, a ton of mimics will spawn and you'll have to try again for that device in the next round. After you get the white mist device though, head over to near the med bay area and search this corner right here where a device will spawn and then sprint off somewhere. You then need to use the grenade launcher thing on your Ray K rifle in order to stop it for long enough to grab. After you grab that canister, then you can head to the outside area near Juggernaut. Into this little section right here, you will be able to dig up the last device, and this is easy and consists of 2 manglers, one in the beginning, one at the end, also a ton of dog spawns. I suggest doing this when you are near the end of a round with only a few zombies left, because round zombies do get into this area as well. But I just run around and let the dogs explode so I don't end up shooting the last couple of zombies in my round. Then I take out the 2 manglers, and after that the green orb will disappear and you can grab the final canister, run around to each location that you used to turn the power on and put one of the canisters into the machine. This will then lead to a sequence of talking where after you will be able to use this computer in the planning center in order to access this satellite minigame. You are looking for a flag with a question mark, but I had to crank my graphics so low so zombies would stop crashing and couldn't tell exactly what symbol was on the blank flag, but essentially I think that, at least for me, it was the same satellite each time I tried. Being this bottom right one here. Let me know down in the comments if this is in a different spot for you, but after this, one more sequence will play and you will have to go into the boss fight, so make sure that you are prepared before you pick the satellite. The boss fight is a whole nother thing in itself, which I kept dying at, and the first time I was just underprepared and confused by a couple of the mechanics, so I am going to do my best to explain what is going on in this boss fight solo mode, which is that honestly I have no idea. I couldn't tell if the boss was spawning in the mimics or if my panic running around the map was spawning in the mimics, but one thing that I did figure out is that these fireballs that the boss is constantly shooting at you must get shot before they hit you. This is something that you 1000% have to focus on because they will eventually kill you, and I feel like after I shot like 6 of them, he stopped shooting them for a while. But in another playthrough, I kept missing a bunch and they just kept coming constantly. So I'm pretty sure you have to knock down like 6 of them to catch a little windbreak from them, at which point it's probably safe to start shooting at the boss. I have tried the boss at round 19, at round 16, and at round 17 so far, and I honestly think that the difficulty does not scale. And this is important to know because if the difficulty does not scale, then you are better off triple pack-a-punching your weapons, stocking up on monkeys and whatnot before you head into this boss. Let me know down in the comments if you have made it to the boss and on what round, and if you think the difficulty scales depending on what round you are on. You will see here that I don't quite kill the boss in this run, but I got it down to like 1 health, which was absolutely devastating. But I still wanted to put this video out to share with you guys the strategies that I'm using in the Firebase Z Easter egg. Let me know down in the comments if you use any strategies that I failed to mention here. Also, I will probably be putting out a full unedited Easter egg run through depending on what round I can finish it on as soon as I'm able to finish it, because I am trying to not so much speed run this thing but get it done at the lowest round possible. But other than that, I hope you all have an amazing day. I'm out.